We got into a vehicle pursuit where the only one when an occupant ran and was not caught. See, that's what I like about South Dakota, because you're probably chasing up there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're in chasing where you're at. So we find a cell phone in the vehicle, and another officer uses it. Oh snap! To make a 911 call to find that that's subscriber info. Okay, the officer did not have to get into the phone and just held down the emergency call button, right? And that is what helped find the person. Now the phone was in the car. The guy took off from the car, and the phone was in the car.
So no issues with that. Right?
No issues.
What with him abandoning the vehicle and everything behind?
All right, explain to me what you mean by that.
So it sound pursuit, correct? We chased him. He took off for whatever it was, right? So we chased the car. He abandoned his vehicle. He took off on foot, is what it sounds like. Left the car behind. Left his phone behind. So something we talk about here is either purposeful or inadvertent abandonment. So it's a little bit purposeful to me, like maybe an inadvertent. He was in a hurry. He had somewhere to be pretty quickly up there in South Dakota, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff up there, Kyle. I've never been there. I got to check it out.
It's a beautiful place in the summer.
Yeah, it looks amazing. But yeah, when you get down to this, that's interesting because you said most phones you can't access, the codes or the face scan or whatever. So yeah, pushing on that button to figure out whose phone is it. I love the creativity in it here. And there's actually a case that came out not too long ago that I was reading about this, and the idea that kind of came down here is there an expectation of privacy in your name, your phone number?
Now you're going. Okay, let's break the call. It Mike. I gotta pull the reins back on you.
Oh, okay.
Because I see, man, we have a lot of you have abandonment. Now you have no expectation of privacy. Let's go with abandonment.
Okay.
So, okay, fine. If you're going to make the abandonment argument, please share with me and our viewers, what are some of the things that you would want to articulate about that car and situation that help establish that? Because I mean, running away from the car, okay, fine, that's a huge factor. Are there any other factors that may be relevant in these cases?
Well, let's say fled from the police initially. I mean, that's just trying to get away stuff. But then fleeing, ditching the car, running directly away from it, making no attempts to come back for it.
Keys in the car?
What's that?
Keys in the car?
Why not?
Wouldn't the keys in the car even send a more of a signal?
Better message of like, I want nothing to do with this.
What about door? Have you ever
door
seen
open?
Door
direct
open?
flight. You start looking at all these things. Not looking back at all, just headlong flight, going for it. Maybe we're even looking at the phone and there's no attempts to call or like a text message like, oh hey, if you found my phone, I'm looking for it. That there's things that guy could do to maybe reestablish that. But I think like you said, looking at these factors in here, that's pretty clear that I don't want anything to do with these items.
Okay, so I agree with you. I do want more in these reports. I know you agree with me. I want more in these reports than just he ran away from the car. There's usually more. There's the fact, there's the fact that he did. The keys are in it. Oftentimes the door's open. But even if they shut the door, it's not a.
The car was still rolling when he got out.
Yes. And also, hey, Mike, what about the fact that the vehicle is often, on 99% of the time, in an area where they have no expectation of privacy at all, right? It's not like they pulled into their driveway and fled. Okay?
Yeah, that's another factor. It's in the public, which diminished expectation of privacy inherently. Yeah.
All right, now, Mike, you did say something though that I think I take homage to. So I don't know if that's the word, but
you have to look at the case. But so what they did was they pushed the button on the phone. So the 911 dispatch got the whatever comes up, the phone number, and I think they got the subscriber name or something came up on the 911 end of things, and that's how they worked it back into this person. I think it was related to like a taxi fraud theft or something. He didn't pay his fare and left his phone behind, if I remember the case correctly. And they looked at this, and their thoughts on this case was there's no expectation of privacy in that information. That's Like I don't even think they looked at it.
You're saying, okay, so you're saying just so we know that, just give me an extreme example. I'm sitting at Starbucks, okay, and there's a cop next to me, and my phone is on my chair, and he picks up my phone and dials 911, and now they know who the phone belongs to. You're saying that is not a search under the Fourth Amendment?
I didn't say what, but
You said there's no expectation of privacy.
Well, yeah, and this, so actually that case, I'll look it up here, but they did say that it wasn't a search, which that one kind of troubled me a little bit because that's Jones. I mean, you're touching with the intent there, but I think what the information they keyed in on is that you don't have that protection in your name and that subscriber information, kind of that Carpenter thought.
Well, Carpenter, and there's also Maryland versus Wilson. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but there's a 1970s case, maybe 1976 or so, where the U.S. Supreme Court said that there is no expectation of privacy in subscriber information. That's called the pen register, right? That's your pen register cases. But we're talking about, but these are.
But how do we get it is the question.
Correct.
Yeah, there's the question in this, because how are we getting it? We're touching with the intent.
Okay, so
that's
all
a search. Jones all day long. But let me find this case here.
All right, no, you can look, but I want you to look, and also let me tell you, there's this article from the Crime Bulletin. It's referencing a case. And I just kind of grabbed it, and it's very interesting. So this might be our last case for the night, unless somebody else has any other questions they want to ask on the mic. Those take precedent. But check this out. So the case involves the kidnapping of Denise Huskins in Vallejo, California. And it called us attention to this issue of, hey, is calling a suspect's phone, calling 911 from a suspect's phone, a search? So what happened here was it was actually kind of similar to Gone Girl. And this girl gets kidnapped, and, I just named her, Denise Huskins. And hold on, I'm just going to read this here because I'm trying to paraphrase this, because reading it's kind of not going to be fun. Now, they found a phone at the crime scene. Okay. The kidnapping scene, right?
Okay.
And without a warrant, police called 911 to generate a caller ID and disclose the phone number in order to identify the phone's caller, the cell phone's owner. I'm sorry, right? As it turns out, the cell phone was owned by a person named Mueller, who was a lawyer who was involved in this kidnapping. And it's Yep. And what I understand from the case, I've never watched Gone Girl, but I know me either. Yeah, but in this case, Mueller, the lawyer, and his girlfriend conspire to kidnap this girl for ransom. And maybe that's kind of in line with Gone Girl. So the question was, they used, of course, this is Mike, you can appreciate that this is a key piece of information, right? That now that we know Mueller is the owner of that cell phone, he's our suspect because his damn cell phone is behind the crime scene.
That's pretty damaging.
That's pretty damaging. The judge ultimately denied the motion to suppress the cell phone. Why, my friends? Under two recognized exceptions. And what are they? It's at a crime scene. And
it's at a crime scene.
One of them.
Yeah. So, it's exigency, and they're trying to figure out what's going on there, right?
Boom, Mike. Such a great job. Exigency. Is there a now or never type of situation?
Oh yeah.
You need to try.
We're talking about kidnapping. Yeah,
that's right
here for sure. Yeah.
So exigency is one reason, and of course, what's the other reason? You just talked about it.
Oh, the abandonment issue, right?
Abandonment.
Yeah.
They left it at a crime scene. So, but here's the deal: the court did say, well, look, I mean, actually, you want to be super technical. If it is abandoned, is it really a search?
Technically, no.
Correct. Technically, no.
Right. Yeah.
Because you only search things that have a privacy interest. But if there is a privacy interest, then you have exigency.
Yes. So let's think about this. We talk about that getting the subscriber information on that exigency in there. But now let's kind of look about going into the phone. Now that's even with the abandonment. That one's highly intrusive, and that one's going to be a different story.
It's gonna be okay. That's gonna be a different story. So if
let's say you didn't get that identification somehow through the 911, but you know that it could be in there. There's an exigency going in that way too, probably.
Yeah, no, that's correct. Now, if we have to, look, if we're gonna have to celebrate the phone, whatever you want to call it, get that software, and it's gonna take hours and hours and hours to do that, then you might as well just get the warrant at that point.
Right.
But yes, if it happens to be swipe up and the damn phone has no, hopefully it doesn't have, if it has no, password protection, then just go with exigency, because we have a missing person And especially if they're a taxpayer, we got to get them in California. We have to get them safe as soon as possible.
As quickly as possible, right?
And California loves their taxpayers. They need the money. All right.